So what's up, man? How we feeling about the market?
Shit, right now it's pulling back.
Yeah.
What I'm seeing, which is typical. It's gonna be the end of the month, so Bitcoin is what $96,757. Some change. So yeah, definitely a pullback right now. Let me bring that chart back up.
Yeah, I think we're pulling back right now. I think it's gonna pump to 100K before Christmas or by Christmas,
Yeah,
and then I think it's gonna come back down to 73 after that. But then
why
if it don't hold,
73?
I can show you why 73 technically on the chart. Like I feel like it's gonna fall. Like I feel like it's a lot of people want to short at 100K, but at the same time, I feel like it can pump a little past 100K and then fall to 73.
Let me see this chart real quick.
I think it'll jump at 73. But if it just like do some crazy shit
I got it at 70. Yeah,
and
it's
dropping
that.
at 73, it's gonna go back to 49. And then when it go to 49, 150 plus after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, it's that range from It's basically that range from looking at it right for the chart right now. It's that range from 77 to 73, basically, or 72 ish. That's the last place it was consolidating at.
Man, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at, man.
I just looked at the 4 hour chart on my phone.
Show the people.
Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at,
Shit.
man. I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at, man. Let's see. Let's go here.
See how you be reading the white charts.
Yeah,
Maybe I'm
bro.
just old and put mine in dark mode.
Remember, I had already called it Buddhist flag, but we just was like consolidating that shit.
Yeah.
And so that's when I had called it to hit 70, go back down 49 like it did here. It's liquidity sitting under here, and then plus
66 would be the next. 66 would be the next spot. Look at 66. I'm on the 8 hour chart. What time frame you on?
I'm looking at the weekly.
Okay, that makes sense.
Uh, yeah, 66. It could bounce at 66 too, just because this is a demand.
Mm-hmm.
It could bounce at 66, but if it don't bounce at 66, what I said 73. Well,
Basic.
if it don't hold at 73, but this 66, 70, I'm gonna say 65, 70.
It's basically a no.
65, 70, 73.
It's basically a no trade. It's basically really a no trade zone in between anywhere in between like 55 and then anywhere under like 75. That's like where it's consolidating at low point of like 55 ish and then all the way up to about 75. That's like that zone. That's probably the zone you got on your chart. I just looking at it on my
So
phone.
let's just put it like this. Between 73, 5 and 65, between 73, 5 and 65, if it break between that zone, it's gonna go back down to 49 because see, all this shit was consolidating and all those orders was being gained right there. Then all of a sudden just slammed down. Damn, why my shit moving so crazy? It just slammed down and got all this liquidity from under there. Now it's liquidity just sitting at the bottom of that wick. And it's people ready, you know what I'm saying? It's people that's like holding that's gonna get took out right here.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go under that zone again though.
Nah, it possibly can. But I'm just saying if
It,
it doesn't hold this shit.
it could, yeah. I mean, it could, but I doubt it with the with
Yeah,
all the.
Michael Saylor buying it all
Yeah,
up,
yeah.
man.
I mean,
Nah.
just where we're at with everything being commercial now, I just don't.
Yeah, but this definitely the demand zone, the next demand zone to bounce off of, like you said.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
66, that's like the midpoint. of the zone. Let me see.
How much of a drawdown it is?
That'll be 30%.
Yeah,
That's
sound
exactly
right.
where it needed. Because shit, people be scared of that 20%, 30%. That's shit. That's normal for crypto, bro. This shit
Right,
crazy,
right.
bro. 20 and 30% when people get ready to load up in the stock market, they know this is just like normal pullback and shit, retrace.
Yeah, that's 30%. That's what Bitcoin did previously. That's usually what it 30% is actually the number. Like right
Right.
right on the spot. That's what it always does.
And then it lines up end of the year, Christmas coming, people cashing out for presents. And then the beginning of Q1 of next year, it starts
Man,
to pick back up.
we hit 100K.
No.
Yeah, I almost did.
Yeah, like 500 all.
90. It's my. Well, I'm looking at.
You
This
know,
is
every chart.
Oh,
Coinbase 99.8.
Every
Yeah,
chart got a mark different, bro.
yeah. 99.8.
I didn't see some people that showed 100. I didn't seen, but I don't think so. Because if it had hit 100, it would have been plastered all over everywhere. And I
Right.
haven't
right.
seen
Then
a
I
lot of
really could
100
take this
posts.
shit out because this is. Well, nah, I wouldn't say it's
But
invalid.
also too, a catalyst would be that the FOMC meeting, FOMC meeting for December about the rates. But he might keep it. He might not change
Oh,
it.
that's next week, ain't it?
And they already cut rates, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut rates already, but they got a meeting next month.
For what?
So
The
the last meeting,
FOMC, right?
yeah. So if you keep everything the same, then we might consolidate. But if he cut rates another quarter,
I mean, I don't think they're gonna cut again when they just made cuts.
I don't know. They got to prepare for that crisis for next year to push us into them high digits like they did with COVID. So it's the same playbook from 2020, man. Like same
I
playbook.
mean, COVID was like a global crisis, so
Right.
there was a reason for that. Global
Right.
crisis going on right now.
Bro, we
Yet.
literally, I don't even want to say these words on the internet. The AI is a motherfucker, but we
Right.
literally been they trying to like push us into a whole world war, bro. Like some crazy stuff. It ain't even probably it's probably some other stuff we ain't even looking at.
Right.
Looking at. Excuse me.
Next month, I mean not next month. Next year, the narrative is gonna be layoffs, mass layoffs.
That was that was already the narrative, bro. That was the narrative all of this year. What
Not
you
with
mean?
majority. I'm talking about like everybody, like even like the trash company that's around here in the neighborhood, like they just went bankrupt. Like it's fin to hit crazy because
I don't think
inflation
so.
ain't going nowhere.
I don't. If anything, man, I think you're thinking I think what you're thinking. I think the opposite's gonna happen. To be honest with you, I think that with Trump being in office, if anything, we'll see a lot of these small businesses get breaks and be able to make turnarounds that they weren't able to do. If I had to guess, that's just my guess. I don't think we're going to see any more layoffs because we already saw almost every top company do layoffs. So, I mean, I don't
I
think
feel
they're going to consolidate any more than they already have.
If
I
they
feel
pull up
like man,
Elon Musk move,
they gotta, bro. Companies really gotta like, man. The country though. That's the thing. The country is in debt. Like that's really what we gotta look at. Like the country
The
is in debt. It
country,
gotta be
country
some
debt.
way for them to turn the shit around, bro.
It's not
right.
because the whole world runs off. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, that's just never gonna change, bro. Honestly, it's just country runs off credit. I don't really think the U.S. is ever gonna get to a point where they have to pay off their debt. The only
Of course not.
situation where the U.S. gets to where they
Yeah,
have to
nah.
pay off their debt is if they lose reserve currency status. That's the only
That's coming.
I
That is
mean,
coming.
not necessarily. If we establish the first Bitcoin reserve, that's not coming.
Yeah.
Guaranteed that
If
if the U.S. is the
they
first
better start
country
moving
to,
fast, bro.
I mean, no
These
other
other
country,
countries been
no other.
moving, bro.
I mean, well, even the other countries been moving, but the only other country that matters if they establish a Bitcoin reserve before we do is China. No other country even matters. It's just US versus China, basically. Any other country, no other country has enough Bitcoin in their stockpile, even if they did establish a Bitcoin reserve right now, to even matter. But if you look at the US and China stockpiles, they're like basically neck and neck, and nobody's really even close to them in terms of how much they own. But the US is just all from confiscated Bitcoin, basically. All the Bitcoin that they've like taken from people for the most part.
It's just crazy, right? You help them create it and take it away. Typical big brother.
That's like I'm saying, bro. Real talk. That's like I'm saying.
Man. Okay. So yeah, we'll see. I'm just looking at the fact that they're gonna push it down again at least one more time, maybe a flash crash. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a pullback.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's definitely gonna be a pullback. I mean, it's whether it's stock, crypto, or whatever, nothing could just what I'm saying, nothing could just go up forever.
Right?
So what y'all think about the stock market about to be tokenized? What y'all think
I'm
about
here
that?
for it. 24-hour trading.
What you talking about, bro? You said what?
The stock market is about to be tokenized.
Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely a thing. Like that's why, bro. Like thing about it, I be watching some powerful people, bro, and like it's like he like, bro, like really, he was like it's gonna be a abandonment of the stock market.
So when you say the stock market is gonna be tokenized, what do you mean?
I'm gonna let Charles take that one from he might know a little bit more than
so. Basically, just like in your spare time, look up Larry Fink.
Just moving it. So they're just gonna move it to the blockchain.
Basically, so they can have 24-hour trading. But with all the old money being in it right now, they ain't gonna really receive it well. So a lot of people are going to pull the money out the stocks or whatever, trying to basically run away from it, only to go back into it. Similar like with the housing crash, like how everybody kind of jumped out of the housing market, but if you just kind of just stayed your ground, you'll be up by a whole bunch.
But why do you think people will pull their money out? Nothing's gonna change.
Emotional trading. It's a human emotion.
But nothing's gonna change though.
We know that. But they don't.
I feel like people know. Well, no, I mean, they're not gonna just roll out a tokenized stock market and the U.S. is not gonna just let the stock market tank, bro. They're not gonna roll out a tokenized stock market and let the market tank. Like, I mean, I don't really think it's that big of a deal because they're not. All they're doing is looking like it's running it off the blockchain, so nothing's really gonna change. I don't know though. I really don't know. I'm trying to read about it right now.
I think it's kind of like you said. It's like a whole bunch of old money, and it's a whole bunch of old emotions within the stock market. So like when they start getting introduced to like crypto and all
there's
these
tokenized stocks already, but there's tokenized stocks already though.
Right, but how many people understand the concept of it?
Well, if they don't understand and they already own the stock, then
but the emotion aspect of it, that's what I'm saying. They're gonna bet on it.
I mean, I own Tesla, and I didn't even know that Tesla had tokenized stock, bro.
Right, but you also read.
No, but what I'm saying is I own Tesla stock, and I didn't even know there was a difference between it being a regular stock or tokenized stock, which means it doesn't matter. What I'm saying is it doesn't make a difference whether you know or don't know, because if I own Tesla stock and I didn't even know it was tokenized, then it's going to be that across the board for everybody else who invests, right?
Right. I agree with that part, but also too for those who don't know or try to look at it as, well, it's a bad thing, they're going to let the emotions get the best of them because they don't understand, or they feed into the fear that's going to be played into it.
I guess we'll see. I don't think it's going to change the stock market at all, because I didn't even know it was a thing. I own tokenized stock, and I didn't even know I own tokenized stock, which is probably the case with everybody else on the stock market. Well, some people probably know, and the people who don't know probably just like me, you probably realize you own tokenized stock and you're like, oh, well, still going to hold the stock. But I don't know. I don't think it, me personally, I just don't think it's going to, I don't think that'll make a difference, or I don't think that would make the market tank.
Okay. Then what about this scenario here? From the gains from crypto being more than the average 4 to 8% in the stock market. Because if I mean, not the old money, of course, because I mean they can care less, but most of retail that's getting in, you know, hey, why have my 401k bring me at least 4% when I can go bet on the next meme coin? I can possibly hit a lick.
Not the next meme coin.
You know, people like to gamble.
You know the answer to that, bro. That's easy, bro. It's because risk. That's easy, bro.
Right.
That's easy. It's risk. This you won't. The only situation when we talking about crypto, if you hear Bitcoin go down 30%, like we just said, oh, whatever, not a big deal. That doesn't happen in the stock market, bro. Something catastrophic needs to happen for a stock to go down 30% in a week. Like a company needs to do something crazy for that to happen. Whereas Bitcoin, if it goes down 30% in a week, it could just be whatever, right? Like that doesn't happen in the stock market. So where we're at right now, until Bitcoin becomes less volatile, you're not going to see people rolling out their 401ks for crypto. Like I don't think you'll see that yet. And honestly, it's become an investment strategy for like big banks and stuff. But like all the financial advisors I've talked to, whenever they talk to people about crypto, they just say you should only have like 1 to 5% exposure in your portfolio to crypto. That's like the quote unquote going financial advice right now.
Yeah, which I think is a setup so they can
That's
pump their own bags, right?
I mean,
but I get it.
Yeah, no, it's true. Like I agree. I think realistically, at the end of the day, man, it's like it's the same thing as the .com bubble. It's no different than the .com bubble.
I think
right?
they want us. I think the financial advisors want us to feel like you said, like, bro, this the thing, bro. When Charles first came and like I've been knowing about Bitcoin, I just didn't understand. When he first came and told me about it, I'm just looking at it like, okay, well, shit, I don't know what the fuck this is. You know what I'm saying? But then it's the same people like Warren Buffett, all these people, all these different famous people. First they was like, oh, nah, this shit is a scam, this and that. Why they packing their bags and you get left behind? That's how this should be working, bro. Like real talk.
Oh, bait and switch.
They packing their bags and they telling you, oh, this is a scam. Oh, nah, the same people, the same investment firms.
And then they coming out now saying, oh, well, it was a mistake. We were mistaken the whole time. They're the ones that put money to create the whole economy in the first place with crypto. Like that's where that money coming from. It's they pull
coming from
bonds,
the multimillionaires and billionaires. That's how that money flowing into that market like that. Why you, man? Well, it ain't retail that's really moving Bitcoin like this at all. All that money trillions of dollars.
Jerome Powell said, "Let's print it."
Yeah, bro. They getting rich on the back end, man. So, like,
of course,
I don't feel like nobody knows exactly what direction it's gonna go into when it comes to policy and shit.
Yeah,
like they're still like up in the air. But like that's really what we've been waiting on.
Speaking of, the Mica regulations come out next month in the UK. So that might play a small factor in how we start to create our own clarity with regulations once they do the inauguration and all that other shit. But basically, they're going to force the MiCA's markets and crypto asset regulations. So basically, it institutes uniform European market rules for crypto. So basically, they're going to be kind of the first legal framework in regards of over there, because
this is
the UAE, they already have their own frameworks for them. What's the other country? I think China has their own regulations within their country.
Well, I think they're trying to like catch up to us, right? I mean, the US has the most clear-cut policy on crypto right now, I think. Like,
not really. it's the
US, what you mean? US been slamming crypto companies for a minute, brother.
right
I
on
don't.
purpose. So they
But
have their
that's the
certain ones,
regulation. But
but
that's
the
the regulation.
regulation is out of date. The
Well, no,
whole
I
The
what
mean, I
is
know
it?
it's out of
regulation is by
it's
enforcement.
it's.
That just
I know it's out of
segue
date.
into Gary Gensler getting out of there.
Oh, for
Right.
sure. I mean, I know I'm not saying I'm not saying that the United States regulation is up to date, but I'm saying we have regulations about crypto. That's why we can't get on. That's why we can't access KuCoin anymore because of crypto regulations in the US. So the US honestly, believe it or not, maybe we don't use crypto in our day-to-day transactions, but in terms of like actual regulation, the US is one of the tighter countries with crypto regulation, period, point blank. Now, whether it's new school or old school, whether it's like the United States doesn't accept it right now that much, but we
Really,
have
what
the
it is,
tightest.
it's not to the benefit of the people that
Exactly.
much. That's
Exactly.
really what it
100%.
is.
100%. But we are the most regulate. We like are one of the most regulated countries when it comes to crypto, when we have the tightest regulations when it comes to crypto right now.
Okay, I just segue into them making XRP cross
Um,
border transactions so everybody can
You
just
know
all get
it's
along.
coming. You know it's coming.
Oh yeah, I was waiting. I was waiting for it, man. I was
Everybody can
waiting for it,
just
man.
all get along if they do that. You know what I'm saying? We
I
ain't
was
got to be with all
waiting.
this enforcement action and no, we can't do this and that. Like, let the people have crypto, bro.
But I
You
think
know what I'm
they
saying?
do that. They did that honestly on some secret agent type stuff. Like we gonna force y'all where we can't operate in the United States for real. So go to these other countries to kind of get more of these people on board. And then what the US is gonna do is become more lax in their regulations. And then we're gonna basically get back on top with being the, like old boy said when he ran for president, the known for holding the most crypto and kind of balancing our way back to our reserve status almost. It's kind of like a death and a rebirth in a sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just trying to be off chain, bro. I'm trying to have some off chain and then like just have some land and gold, man, and be out the way. You know what I'm saying?
I hear that, bro.
Because all this is cool. You just gotta get in the right projects, really. Make
True.
the most of this
True.
shit.
I'm just waiting for the Black Swan event. So when half of these cryptos, well, like 90% of them do go down, then the utility coins will kind of be popping. I think that's when we'll get more of a consistent flow into cryptos, more like how the stock market is,
It's the
and we won't have,
DGens, bro.
I agree.
yeah, it won't be as volatile. That's the part that I'm waiting for. So it's like, I tell people who come ask me like, hey, don't put all your money into meme coins. I mean, take a little small percentage and, take what you get out of it, do what you're going to do with it. But you need to put it into type, utility coins that's going to serve a purpose. Like outside of XRP and Bitcoin, I tell people like Chainlink, like that's a whole pricing oracle by itself of basically keeping you up to date with the prices of the market. They're not going nowhere
Yeah.
at all. That's a safe bet. Ethereum is a long-term hold, but like I said, that's the gas fees is killing that network, man. Like it's hard trying to trade on Ethereum unless you really got some bread because of all the transaction fees and the gas fees. I think MetaMask just rolled out some new feature where they roll in the gas fees until if you sell a token or whatever, they take the gas fee out of that just to get some more traction. Because right now Solana is killing them on that front, but they're kind of mirroring that same meme cycle that Ethereum had. So I think it's a rinse and repeat. It's the same cycle, just with a different coin. I think Solana gonna follow the same thing that Ethereum did, but more on a grander scale. And then I think Sui's gonna follow right behind Solana, because once they get this gaming network and all the gamers on board and the streamers, it's a done deal from there.
I'm gonna tell you what I think, man. I think that all of these layer one platforms that random people and businesses have made are cool and all, but I think that what's going to end up happening in crypto is once countries actually start moving to the blockchain, then we're going to see big businesses and real money create their own
On chain,
layer
private
one,
chain,
create their own layer one protocols. So it's like Solana and Ethereum are cool, but if you think about it, bro, those companies were really kind of just made by, I don't want to say small businesses, but not small businesses, but like a few people who kind of got together to do their own thing. And I think
Right.
that it's a little different from a business it's a little different from like a Facebook, because Facebook, you have like social media platforms, you have that like first person to the punch and then staying power, where I just don't think cryptocurrencies are going to have that the layer one platforms are going to have that staying power, because we keep seeing every new platform that comes out more transactions per second,
True.
but we still haven't seen a true layer one protocol that is fast enough to actually support a country's infrastructure. We don't even have a layer one protocol like that yet. So until we do, bro, like for me to look at Ethereum, a Solana, or really any layer one protocols or any coins meant for transaction purposes, bro, it just doesn't make sense to me, because none of them right now, if you were to take any coin that's meant for transactions, none of them could run a country's infrastructure right now, period, point blank. So it's like, to me, they're all cool, but we still don't have that one that exists that could actually even run in a country like the US, because they're just not, none of them are fast enough.
That's true. We don't have Skynet yet.
Yeah, so they're
We gotta
getting
launch
there.
a few more satellites. That's all.
True. That is true. I think that's where the CBDC comes into
Space
play.
chain. That's what I just gonna say. You must want them CBDCs, man, because these countries get to get their own blockchains,
What's
and
CBDC?
they force people
Basically,
digital
That's
currency.
digital currency, centralized.
Yeah.
Okay,
For the banks.
Okay,
You ask yourself, do we
exactly.
really want that?
We don't want it, but it's coming, bro.
Right.
Ain't gonna be no way to stop that.
That's why
It's
people
coming,
like us to be able to. You got to have some kind of. You got to corner some kind of market cap in some of these blockchains to be able to be interoperable and move fluently. It's either you're gonna do that or you're gonna get CBDC.
True.
Well, shoot, even if you do, you're gonna have to get CBDC, bro. You're not gonna have a choice. Even we're gonna have to use CBDC, bro. Probably, because that could just be the same way where it's just like,
hey, look, we going into a whole nother conversation. I ain't using CBDC. I'm a rebel. I am a rebel.
What happens if, bro? Like, because here's the thing, right? Because we're so.
I mean, what you want? Like, they already controlling us now, so it's like, okay,
right?
How much more control do you want, bro? Like,
well, here's the thing, bro. We're not gonna have a choice, bro. Because, like, look, we're quickly headed into this. Like, bro, in the next like 50 to 100 years, bro. Like, honestly, bro, I really think maybe not that time frame, but like before Bitcoin, I don't know what time frame, but we're quickly headed into this world where like people are just gonna stop going into physical stores, dog. Like,
true.
Like that's going to be a thing. Like, just give VR and AR, just let it make that next leap from just being these big clunky headsets. The same way where we went from them big clunky iPods to the iPhone. Once the headsets make that switch that the iPod did to the iPhone, it's a wrap, bro. Everybody that does retailing in physical stores, the rush is going to be, how do we do digital retailing? Because Amazon's already dropping stuff off to people's houses so easily. Everybody has these food plates. So many people are getting food delivered to their house now cheaply, bro.
The dude that I be telling y'all about, bro, that I be watching on YouTube, he was like, they tested the quantum computer, the qubits. They tested them in the what you call the things that run. What's the shit called, man? They tested the quantum computers.
Quantum processing
on the cables, those new fiber, those optic fiber cables and shit. They said they tested it already inside of those. So imagine that kind of the quantum computers being tested in fiber optic cables, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Nvidia just came out with something that they're working on with some other company, if I'm not mistaken, where they said that the processors that they were doing to process not just transactions but just in general has like 50x the amount that it can actually process in seconds. So these supercomputers are going to one make life a whole lot easier for us, but it goes back to what Brandon was saying as far as becoming dependent and having no choice but to use those CBDCs because universal basic income, they're gonna cut the work week down. If people are like you said, slowly stop going into physical stores, those workers won't need to come. I mean, they're closing stores now because
Yep.
people ain't coming to work. You know,
They
so they're gonna
speeding
have
up
to
time
keep
in a sense.
right. So they're gonna have to keep those people paid because that's why I meant when I say the layoffs in the physical sense into that realm.
I don't see. We'll see, man. I don't know. I'm on the same page as you though. I mean, I don't know if I really have no clue if the universal basic income is going to be a thing.
It is now.
Um,
It's several states.
well, for sure, but it's not livable. You can't.
Yet.
It's not livable, and I don't think it ever will be livable because
What is that?
that's uh
Well, you can basically make a decent range of it. Say that they airdrop you $2,500 a month.
it's where they pay you even when you don't. They pay you just to live.
Oh,
Yeah.
Universal
they
basic.
already testing it. They've been
Yeah,
testing
Yeah.
that in
yeah.
14, 15 different states already.
But
Yeah. It's in Shreveport.
where they
They're
have
in
it at,
Shreveport,
bro,
Louisiana.
you can't live off what they pay you from that. It's not.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
No,
But I think that's where
I don't
the
think it'll get.
hyper deflation comes in because of the debt and the money that we're printing off. That
Gonna get
hyper
They gonna
deflation,
get our rations.
right? I mean,
God damn, that shit is sad, bro.
but I think
Hey,
it's only going to be for the people who don't tap in now to learn financial literacy. They're going to be
so
subjected to that. Versus where we kind of position ourselves, we kind of have a little bit more say so, kind of like the have and have nots as we kind of progress. But I think that's what's gonna kind of put it's like an upgrade to welfare. That makes sense.
Basically, that's
basically,
all. That's all it
yeah,
is, bro. Real
Yeah.
talk. It's
upgraded
like people.
welfare.
People say it's universal basic income, bro. Y'all call it whatever you want. It's just welfare to me. I swear, people are hyping it up. People say they want it. I'm like, yeah, we
Funds
got
Because
it.
keep
people
We
coming.
don't
got it
want to go to
now.
work, man.
We got it
COVID
now.
made
Nobody
people
living on welfare.
want to just chill at home, create something, be lazy, whatever their case is. And it was a test run. And when everybody got them stimulus checks, what they did, go spend it.
Bro, that was. I'm not gonna even hold you, bro. That was a crazy time.
What?
God,
Nah, not just
I
people
spent.
getting them stimulus checks. People
I
getting
spent
them
mine, bro.
Right, right. It's
other
just
little
like that
checks.
Dave Chappelle skit.
That shit was a crazy
When
time.
black people ain't got reparations, what happened? We put it right back in the market. So
That's
just
crazy.
saying, it's
Hey,
gonna be some form of that, man. They already programmed it.
hey, Jay, I'm surprised Charles ain't take that XRP bait, man.
Oh, nah,
Man,
you ain't even ready for that one yet, man.
He ain't
We ain't
take the
even,
XRP bait,
we ain't
man.
even
We
there yet.
XRP.
shifted topics,
He
bro.
don't. He told me to get XRP, but that was the first one of the first tokens I bought, bro.
Man,
So
I read that stuff in a Bank of America. When you work at companies, they have the little news outlets that the employees read when you work there that you can't get to the public. And when I seen that they were building and working with XRP, well, with Ripple, I was like, man, let me look into this. And I looked up, what was it, quantum financial system, and I went down the rabbit hole ever since, man.
So you read documents in the public that the public can't
No,
read.
no, I read confidential documents from the company that only certain employees had access to. Because they don't read that stuff. Most people don't go into companies' websites or the internal websites to read what's going on with the
So you think
company.
Bank of America is going to use XRP?
Yeah, they
they
partnered
already
with
got a
them.
partnership.
It's just they got an NDA.
Hello.
So y'all,
Hey man, you gonna go in the bank and you
wait,
gonna
wait,
pay.
wait.
You gonna pay using crypto with your retina. They already got the what you call the things? The damn, I can't think today. The thing that you
It's
get
Sunday.
to verify something is yours.
Biometrics.
No, when you create your invention, what is it? The
Patent.
patent. They already have patents for those.
Yeah.
I
And
gotta
Chase
find
got
that,
the
man.
game on lock too
Say.
with their Onyx blockchain. They just hush low key about it.
But then don't want you transferring no crypto. What kind of
Yep.
shit is that? They want you to use
Of
they shit. That's what it
course.
is.
Of course.
No
That's
time
why a
to
lot of
be
these
benefiting off of this shit.
what it is, the credit unions are falling and a lot of these other banks. That's all.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, with the
It look
XRP,
like you
that's long term investment,
look like
man.
look like you're doing some research over there.
Yeah.
You know he got a fact check.
No, I'm reading up on XRP and Bank of America. Well, really, in their partnerships with these other banks.
Hella banks. Hella
Good luck
partnership.
finding some with by Bank of America. Like I said, they still on their NDA.
I mean, I found it.
What'd you find?
What we were just talking
about. What time frame you said the CBDCs? You think it's gonna come down the pipeline?
I say by 2030. Me personally, 2030. They've been brought on most of these other emerging markets, as they like to term it, which is just the bank to unbanked. Because I have yet to try to find more information on the Bahamas with their sand dollar. I know that the people didn't take too well to it, but it's still in circulation and in rotation. I think they're working with still Lumens right now, who's going to actually do the peer-to-peer money moving for us, and XRP are going to be for the institutions. So XLM is basically a sleeping giant as well. It may not hit 10,000 yet like XRP because they're going to be moving money. But like I said, that's a very long-term investment, maybe 10 years out at best. But 2030, I think I'm going to be very optimistic and say about a good 70% of people will be on board by 2030.
CBDC, there y'all go. There it is.
So as long as I can scan my QR code.
Man. I feel like you said, Charles, 2030, bro. Shit. The AI gonna be the sped stuff up. Like, think about 2030. Right. That's in 6 years. Right. Why the AI can't speed it up 100 years?
Right.
But it can. That's the crazy part about it. Or let's just say be modest. 6 years, speed it up 60 years. So every 10 years, we jumping exponentially.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible given the fact that on some astrology stuff, because they say billionaires study astrology. So just with what's going on now with the planets and stuff like that, I ain't gonna go too far off topic because most people consider it demonic or whatever, but whatever. If it makes me money, I don't care. I ain't gotta sell no souls and then so but at the end of the day. But yeah, man, it's basically the United States kind of going through a Pluto return. And last time that happened, 1776 was the last time the United States had a Pluto return, which basically kind of shaped what we are in today with the United States. So they're having the same thing happen again this go around, but it's for 248 years. So basically, in layman's terms, we're finna see the death and rebirth of the United States as a power, basically, because it's trajectory, man. It's just outside of the money and stuff like that, on some other level stuff, planetary stuff that influence most of the stuff that's created. It's basically going through a death and rebirth. Basically, it's getting the upgrade.
See how I relate that? Because I read somewhere where the planet is supposed to be aligning, and I'm not sure which one it is, but I relate that to magnetic pool. A magnetic pool has an effect on humans, has an effect on all of the planet, all of that. Yeah. All of that is magnetic pool. No matter what avenue you want to go into to try to describe that magnetic pool, it's pulling something to become something or move or change trajectory or go in a different direction. That's how I look at it.
That's true.
The way I look at all this stuff, bro, is it's a bunch of smart people in a room who get paid to put together theories that hope people believe them. If we're being real with you, and it doesn't necessarily mean they're right. It doesn't necessarily mean they're wrong, but they're all just theories. It's not, and that's to.
Energy harvesting.
That's a tough theory for me to. It's a theory. Don't get me wrong, and it could be a valid theory, but
it ain't your cup of juice. I understand, man. I get it.
It's the same way I feel if I'm talking to a lady and she start asking me what my rising sign is. I'm like, sayonara. Not the one for me, because you're a little too deep into that. Just a little too deep into that. But I mean, I guess we'll see. I was just looking this up too. And it's definitely a thing. I mean, at the end of the day, man, all I'm saying is basically, as humans always look for reasons to figure out why things happen.
Of course.
But I just think sometimes it's just not that deep, bro. I just think it's not as deep as the planets are aligned or this or that. It's just human nature, rising and falling of civilizations. It's just by default human nature. It's just how we were made. It's just how we were designed. It's how we were created. Humans are driven by greed.
Yeah, look at the word. Look at the word you just said though. Design. It's designed for the planets to align. It's like all this shit is not by.
That's for sure.
Not by accident at all.
I mean,
it's all designed.
I hear you. I'm just saying it's not driven. In his theory, it's driven by the planets. In my theory, all I'm saying is it's just driven by people. There's not a greater reason or a greater thing at play. I'm just saying it's just humans being humans, and that's it. I don't necessarily think
I kind of look at it like just kind of like how people or the media try to get us to focus on certain things. That's in essence, that's energy. But it's like, man, like I don't know, bro. This is going to the alien conversations. It's like, okay, maybe it don't correlate, maybe it will. You see how they have the crop circles, and then I was watching some shit on I don't know, it was Netflix or something. It was a new documentary, and it was like when they came and they mutilated the cows, they only took certain parts and this and that, and every part they took was a sexual organ, the tongue, this part, this and this and that. This is like, okay, what are they doing this for? It's just like kind of like you asking, kind of like you said, humans look for a reason. It's like, what are they doing this for? It's like, if I'm looking at this shit, what the quote unquote aliens or whoever the people that's doing this shit, they taking these particular body parts from these cows. It's a sacrifice. It's like it's some kind of energy, some kind of like, I don't know. It's something, bro. I don't know. Maybe a
McDonald's behind it. It's McDonald's. They're the quarter pounders.
Nah, the McRib.
Yeah, man. I just don't be doing the. I used to do the whole spiral and stuff, man. But now
it ain't even spiraling though. What you think about the aliens in the ocean that the Congress was talking about the other week? What about that?
Honestly, you want me to be real with you, bro? I don't care.
So alien technology.
Long they don't come to your house, huh?
Bro, listen. I'm so serious, man. I just don't even have the time, man. Like I like it. Yeah, bro. Like I can't even dive into. I'm like, bro, like my friend, my boy, he's on Instagram. He's messaging me. He's like, yo, bro, you been seeing what's happening with like the Diddy stuff? I'm like, bro, I only saw at the beginning and not again, bro. I'm like, I'm trying to get some money, brother. Like I'm grinding at work, brother. I don't have time to be. But I mean, so, yeah, I mean, I think, but at the end of the day, viewers, bro, man. Hey, man, you never know. Viewers might hear what I'm talking about and be like, yo,
he's gonna edit it, but it's just for the viewers.
Hey, listen, what I'm saying for the viewers too, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
They might align with what I'm talking about, bro. You never know. You never know who you gonna reach, man. It's good to have different people with different viewpoints, right? Like, I mean, just because this is my viewpoint just as valid as both of y'all viewpoints, bro. Like we all, you feel me? Yeah. We all go through our life differently and view stuff differently. But let's actually, let's try to actually make our way through these subjects, bro. Through these topics we got for real.
Okay, let me ask y'all this: what y'all think about crypto.com coin? Or what do y'all think about exchange coins in general?
But that's Crow, right?
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Crow. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I think it has some potential. I think the FTX scenario kind of put a damper in things. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those companies kind of scaled back with it. But long-term wise, I think it could play out well for them in maybe a 10 to 15 year span, depending on how much liquidity we get into the market within this cycle and next cycle for real. I'm basing everything off of to see where we're at in 2030. That gives enough time for the markets to kind of move around, enough institutions to jump on board, because Coinbase now sponsored the Warriors, which was sponsored by FTX at first, because I got an NFT from them for when the Warriors won the championship. And then FTX cost a lot of people money. And then they just also sponsored the Clippers. So I think they're going to start trying to onboard people. And then you have certain football players who have been doing their income in Bitcoin. So I think a lot of other players are going to start pursuing that slowly but surely for real, especially like OBJ. Like I know he's sitting real well.
Shout out to Odell Beckham Jr., bro.
Yeah,
I
like
don't think the
that was
league's-
smart.
I think the league's they're not gonna allow that, bro.
I don't know,
I
man.
don't think they're gonna allow that, bro.
Man,
They ain't got no choice.
If they want to make more, if they want to make more money, they gonna implement some kind of regulation for that.
That's what I'm saying. I think
Look,
a couple.
bro,
I think a couple
you look
players.
at we really the product, bro. So they got to give the product what they want so they can make more money. It's just kind of as simple as that. It's just like how was Odell Beckham Jr. able to get there? He had to go and make a deal with them. He had to negotiate. And then you're gonna be looking at everybody else. It's like all these companies. Well, I ain't gonna say all these companies. It's gonna be different companies coming to different players to incite them, or not even incite them, but basically like trying to get them into whatever blockchain or whatever crypto, or I don't know, man. It's gonna play out.
We're gonna see though. But Crow, like I said, they bought that stadium. I don't know if they still own it. That's in LA. The Staples.
Are you talking about the crypto.com arena?
Yeah, I don't know how long that's gonna last, but if they can stay pretty consistent, we may see the Crow token probably go up to maybe $5 at best. I'm not really good with price targets unless it's XRP, you know what I'm saying? but for the most part, man, I think it's a solid project. I wouldn't get too hung up on it unless you are specifically or like know somebody in that camp that's sitting in those boardroom meetings to kind of, they kind of give you an outlook of where the company is going with their direction. But I do know that with Coinbase sponsoring the Clippers and the Warriors, I think that we'll start a trajectory of other companies trying to do the same thing. And then with MicroStrategy buying up Bitcoin, and with Microsoft waiting to vote on whether they're going to invest on Bitcoin and put on their books, I think Q1 of next year will kind of give us an idea of where we're heading to when it comes to those type of tokens.
I think the only thing I kind of had to say about it is I think if I'm buying anything for an exchange right now, I'm probably just buying Coinbase stock.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say that now because it's kind of fucked up. But
not financial advice, people.
For sure. I have Coinbase stock, so I just think, and I only say that to say because that's going to be the way that right now, realistically, people are probably going to profit the most because it's inside of the stock market. So Coinbase is
familiar with.
And so Coinbase is going to be the one that's going to get pushed for an exchange platform because it's a legal business inside the U.S. Right. So I think because of that, and Coinbase doesn't have a crypto token. So Coinbase is more a LLC, where Crow is more a crypto. Right. So because of that, so Crow, if I had to view it like this, Crow may be something that's more a global thing. But in terms of what gets pushed inside the US for people to use, and if there was going to be a platform that's going to be the biggest one in the US, it's probably going to be Coinbase.
But Coinbase does have a crypto.
I know for sure. Oh, do they have a crypto? Yeah. They have their own token?
Yeah, the base is well, they have their own blockchain.
Well,
they're piggybacking off of the token is going to come out sooner or later. It's basically what they do is they tell you, oh no, we're not going to create a token, and then once certain regulation comes or whatever, then they're going to come out with a token. So they don't have one now yet, but it will come.
I guess we'll see. I think the reason, I mean, I don't know if you can list I don't know if you'll be able to even have a crypto token listed while you're listed on the stock market. I'm not sure that could even be a thing, to be honest with you. That's probably what's allowed them to get listed on the stock market and to not be considered a security, right? Like
True.
that's a major distinction as like why they haven't
Made a
undergone the
token.
same,
Yeah.
probably like that's why they haven't gone through the same scrutiny that XRP, that what's the big platform that the US government sued? Binance, right?
Yeah.
That's why they haven't faced that same scrutiny, because they don't have a token. So
Yeah.
there's no grounds for them to be considered a security because they don't have a token. If you have a crypto token, an asset, that's what was giving the SEC grounds to consider you a security, right?
True.
Under previous regulations. So I don't know. We'll see. There's a lot of,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to see what regulations they put in come January, bro, and
Man.
who he puts in as the new head of SEC. Because realistically, what we talking about 5-6 months from now, that may not, everything we talking about could be well
Right.
out the door, bro. So
True.
it's really gonna boil down to whoever he puts in as the new head of SEC, what they actually plan on doing, and what sort of crypto moves they actually make.
That's
Uh,
true.
but yeah, I went down a rabbit hole there, but that was
No,
the
no.
that was
Yeah.
yeah, I guess Crow and
Whatever they do, I just know we're gonna be on yachts. We're gonna be streaming from the yachts.
What about you, Jay? What you think, brother?
Yeah, I agree.
Agree with who? With what?
Uh, I'm just over here looking at something, looking at the Coinbase stock. I'm
Went
really looking
crazy.
for a pullback.
Went crazy, bro.
Yeah, it did. It
Went
did.
crazy, bro.
I don't know, man. It's like I said, I'm really ready for January 20th to see who he gonna put in this office or who he gonna put in this seat, like, because that's really gonna determine. I think we're gonna get a big strong pullback before then, and then it's gonna before then, and then I guess January 20 comes, then maybe get a push after that's gonna push the market back up. They could be a sentiment.
No, by March for sure we're heading back up. For sure. It's inevitable.
I guess now at this point I'm just anticipating the pullback because there's just a lot of like greed in the market right now.
Too much, bro. It's been that, like,
A lot
you
of
already know.
greed.
You know what I've been saying, bro. That's how I've been feeling about the market, bro. Because listen, man, I didn't had like 4 or 5 people hit me up asking me about Bitcoin, asking me about crypto. People who had never been
Yeah.
interested in it before, and that was literally when I take my head back to when Bitcoin hit 70, whenever that was, 2 years, 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly when it was, but whenever Bitcoin made its previous all-time high, bro, that's exactly what was going on, bro. Like, it is the exact same
Same
cycle,
playbook.
bro. I was having random people hit me up talking about, yo, you own
Yeah,
Bitcoin?
emotional cycle. That's what it
Exactly,
is,
bro.
bro.
That
People
fear
they
of missing
feeling
out.
like just dollar cost average. That's all you gotta do, man.
Bro, I'm
But
literally,
most people don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Dollar
thing
cost
about it.
average. Hey, people, go buy some every time you get paid, every 2 weeks, every 1 week, every month, every quarter. But this is not financial advice at all.
Yeah, for sure.
Please.
And if
Be
you guys don't do nothing else, man, at least go to the bookstore and pick up a few books that talk about this stuff. Just don't take our word for it, because like nobody taught us this. I can probably say we're all somewhere self-taught at some point, and just wanted to learn this stuff to get to the point that we are right now with it, where we can speak with so much conviction and our own theories and viewpoints of it. So for those who are watching, just go read up on the stuff. Google is your friend. Like,
shit, you probably want to hit YouTube for this, bro.
that too.
Yeah.
Gotta
YouTube
hit
University.
what's his name? Crypto Boy, Bit Boy,
Big
Crypto
boy.
Boy.
Oh, yeah,
But nah, but
down the spiral.
I think in terms of basics, right, where you kind of want people to start, the best place for people to start if you actually want to learn crypto is you got to learn what tokenomics is. You got to learn about market cap. You got to learn about supply,
full diluted
liquidity.
value.
If it's a deflationary or inflationary token, those are going to be like the basics, which is all falls under tokenomics. So if you just get on YouTube and just say, explain to me what tokenomics is, like that's going to give you the foundation that you need to properly value and look at a crypto token. And then just kind of go from there. Like that's where I started, and that's where I kind of learned my basis of information.
Just don't follow my lead. Don't just throw some money in there and say, let it hit.
Yeah, nah, that's hey, look, we didn't all did that too, bro. We didn't all have some big L's. Listen,
man, bro. Yeah, so that kind of made me want to learn more about other investment vehicles outside of just crypto, because the market's very volatile right now, man. And I know one thing, stocks will stand the test of time. However, my philosophy is if you're trying to make bread for real with stocks, you got to have bread. Like it's a slow climb.
I agree, but at the same time, man, like it's yes, you're right. You do have to have, it's one of two things. You either have to have money or you have to have patience.
And I have neither.
I think you really gotta have money, bro. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, like my stock portfolio, bro, since 2020 is up 70+%, bro. 70+, and the average stock market return is 7 to 10%. That means I doubled it within the time of what I did. But it's like, okay, where's the capital?
What do you mean, bro? You're bugging. You're tripping, bro. Think about, you're just not, you don't, it's patience. You're missing patience, bro. Imagine if you kept a match. So let me ask you this, bro. And this is the issue that I'm having right now too. So
give us the sauce.
Right. So basically the money that you were putting in, because your portfolio has gone up by so much percentage, have you continued to find stocks that you were finding a year ago and putting the same amount in? Or because you've seen that you've been up 70%, you've decided to kind of like stop investing as much as you were before?
See, that's the thing. I would invest as much as I could if I had actual capital. It's kind of like Charles said, the average person don't have money to make significant gains, because it's just
70% is significant gains.
Yeah, it's significant gains, but if a significant amount of money was able to be put into the market.
That's not
You
true.
know what I'm saying? It's not like nothing life changing or like
that can be with patience.
It can be life changing.
With patience, that's life changing, bro.
But at the same time, if it's not a significant amount, bro, it's people really having money and putting it into the market, bro.
So let me ask you this. So say I want to make about 70 grand in dividends. That way I ain't got to worry about nothing. I'll just let compound interest takes its time.
Well, I'm not on the dividend train, bro, because I think if you're on the dividend train, then for sure what you guys are talking about is true. But I just think here's the thing, right? The way I look at the stock market is, if you can make some sacrifices in your life, whether that's eating out not as much as you eat out, whether that's cutting out a cup of coffee, whether that's cutting out a lunch, and you can just find an extra per month, if you can find an extra $50 to $100 a month to put into the stock market, bro, and you extrapolate that over like 10, 15 years, and no matter who you are, rolling from year to year, you should make more money than you made the previous year. If you are not making more money than you made the previous year with what you're doing for work, you're just not an ambitious person, period. Right? Like, period, point blank. And whether that takes 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to realize that gain, if you've been somewhere for 5 years and you're not making more money than you made before, you got a personal problem that stock market nor crypto will fix. Right? Like, just in general. So I just think, right, like, granted, my money from crypto has grown way more than my money from stock market has, but I first started doing the stock market by doing $5 a week, bro. Like, not much. $5 a week. And it's just having the discipline while you don't have money to do the action and behavior of investing. Because if you're saying like, okay, I'm going to take, even if it's 1% of my income, bro, like, if you are an ambitious person, you have a job, you're working and you're working to better yourself, you'll eventually be in a position where you will have money to invest. Like, so I don't know, man. I just think like 70%, that's great, because there's people who, instead of making
Oh no, I
70%,
know this awesome actually.
and you
You know
can,
what I'm saying?
if you're making, so you make 35% year over year, bro, that's savage. Like that's really good, bro. Like that's,
I
if
think
you,
I think just I think it's going back to what I said. It's kind of it's just not the average person, bro. Like I'm not the average person. It's like 'cause
But
the average person ain't even.
70% gain on, say, maybe $1,000 is definitely different than 70% on $1 million
for sure.
portfolio.
I
Right.
mean, and yeah, like I agree with you. Like, don't get me wrong, but like at the end of the day, you have to. At the end of the day, you have to start somewhere.
Oh
Now
no,
that's true.
definitely.
That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
And
That's
You
and
true.
and
gotta have some skin in the game.
and I
So
think that, and I think that for me, when I saw, even though it wasn't a lot of money, when I saw my, whatever it was, when I saw like my first 1,000 go to like 1,300, I was like, hmm. It's like, maybe there's some other things that I can sacrifice for this. It
oh yeah,
changes
it's a
how you, it
sacrifice for
changes
sure.
when you start doing the action, bro. So like, it's not about how much you make. But this is like a rule in life, right? Like it's about like doing it to do it. And then once you do it, you start enjoying it because you see your results. And that's just how anything in life goes, right? Like whether it's gym, blah, blah, blah. So like you start investing $5 a week, or however much a month, to practice and get the, and feel like, oh, this is what happens when I invest. 2 years ago, I only had 200 in this account, but now I have 300. Imagine if I had 1,000. So now in your head, you're thinking of, how do I get this 1,000? Like,
Right.
so that's the benefit of, I think, to it. Like, and it's not necessarily, it won't ever start off as life-changing money, but I think that I think it allows people access to that mindset shift that they need to go from just
Psychological change. Yeah,
exactly, bro.
they
And
see
that's
they
the
made money without doing anything. So how can I get more money to make
how
without doing anything?
exactly, bro. That
Yeah,
unlocks the
for
psychological
sure.
change for people to turn themselves into an investor, bro. Because all being an investor is just a mindset. It's not how
Yeah,
much money you have, bro. It's a mindset.
that's true.
You could be an investor with a penny, bro. You're not saying you're gonna make a lot of money at first. You feel me? You're
Penny.
not gonna make a lot of
Right.
money at first, but it's behaviors, it's actions, it's what you do. So like,
Nah,
I
it's
think,
who you gotta be, really. Like, you know
exactly,
what I'm saying? They
100%,
have to
bro,
be you, not you forcing yourself to be that. It has to become you. Then it just
100%.
flow. Nah, for sure. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, that's why we here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Facts, facts.
That's why we here. Yes,
that's true.
sir.
Real talk.
Well, when it's time for me to cash out some of this crypto gains and I roll it over into my stock dividends, I'm gonna hit you up. Cause
I gotta find some new picks, bro. I mean, I haven't been invested because all my picks are up, bro. And
Talking
some of
about
them
stock
are,
market,
yeah, bro. I've been
man.
trying to find some. I've literally been trying to find some new picks, because like when I was messing with Tesla then jumped up. When I
You
was
got
messing,
Apple?
I don't. I have a little bit,
Oh,
not a
you gotta get some
significant, bro.
Apple, baby.
I went all in. Basically, I went all in on Tesla and Coinbase, bro. Like those are the two. Those are the one. Like, number one, my portfolio is not balanced, bro. By no means, it's like very imbalanced.
who portfolio is though? Like
Some
I ain't
do,
gonna
be
lie. I
some
was
realistic.
people
just
do,
saying. I
bro.
was just saying earlier, bro. I feel like especially in crypto, I gotta like balance my portfolio more. Like, but
Yeah.
when you just get to seeing things, you just be like, okay, yeah. Let me
So I think, bro,
take a little off.
I think the balancing comes like when you have a little. The balancing comes when you actually cash out a big winner. That's where the balancing comes into play, right? So,
Mhm.
like for the average person who just doesn't have a bunch of money and a financial advisor, it's like you make a couple big wins, and then when you actually sell those big wins, then it's like, oh, where can I put this into, this into, this into, this into? Like, you know what I'm saying? It kind of just happens naturally, I think. And I think like we're all soon be in that place, maybe like 5, 6 years. Once we start selling some of our big assets and our big bags, that's when we're gonna look to start kind of like diversifying our stuff. But like right now, we trying to make some gabagool, bro.
Yeah,
Trying
We
to
can't
I feel you.
diversify. We got to get them big
build it
wins.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Let me see what else.
Let's see. I've been in
Doing good
Apple
so
since
far.
147,
Mm.
229. Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Apple paving the way. You can do Apple pay with crypto and shit. I'll tell you what I'm holding, man. I'm holding Nvidia, Apple, VOO, Spy, DraftKings, just a few.
I'm trying to think about my target. I'm trying to think about if I had to give a pick right now, what would I pick? I mean, probably my riskiest. I think my riskiest pick that at this point, bro, it's either going it's either going to be a hit or a massive miss. One of the two, I don't know. But basically, I was looking at Match Group, which Match Group is the company that owns Tinder, Hinge, and all those dating companies. Um, and their like stock is like massively down, bro, from when people were like actually using Hinge and Tinder and they were popular. So
Yeah.
like at their peak, they were like floating around the 150 to 140 range, and now they're at 30. They're at 31. So either so that's been the place where I've been putting some of my money in, and I'm just thinking on the fact of like at some point, bro, like because the company owns Tinder, Hinge, Plenty of Fish. I forgot which other dating ones they own. I'm like at some point, bro, I feel like either they're gonna incorporate some AI into what they're doing, or something just has to change, bro.
The
Either
metaverse.
either that and that's too, bro. Like literally
Yeah.
think about it. Augmented reality. If augmented reality hits them platforms, dog,
It's a
it's going
wrap.
to transform Tinder. And if they have so, and it's not that hard. If two people have a VR headset and you match with somebody, you both just go into a virtual room. It's like
Not even the headset. Let's get the glasses.
that's so.
They
Anyways, bro,
finna know.
that's kind of
Yeah.
like that's like my value. That's like a value player. Like either they're gonna be able to wait until that technology comes around and incorporate it, or they're just gonna go bankrupt before it. It's one of the
Mhm.
two, bro. Who knows which one? But like that's kind of like my that's like my and this is not financial advice once again, but that's like my dark horse pick that I'm just trying to like think about like what could change for this failing company, sort of deal. But like just my general holdings.
But is that kind of like your wild card?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah, I
That's
think
my wild
DraftKings is kind of like my wild card. But in the same time, people not gonna stop betting, bro. People not like people put more money into the betting. Everybody trying to hit parlays besides getting the market.
Yeah, sports betting got the community in a
It's gonna go
chokehold.
crazy, bro.
card.
Definitely got them in a chokehold.
But that's the thing, man. I just need to find some more. I just gotta find some more things like that, bro. Because I've just ran out of picks like that. All of the ones that I had started kind of getting into are up, decently. So I had got into. So the ones that I had recently got into, like I picked a little bit of Nike up because Nike on the year is down almost 30%. So I picked up a little bit of Nike. I picked up a little bit of Disney too. Disney was down at one point this year too, but they've kind of rebounded. But Disney was down like 20% this year. Uh, and then I have this but I have all my stuff just on this thing called Stash. But I need to actually move my portfolio over to a
Merrill Lynch.
yeah, because I have enough to where I could take out margin, like and not have to basically take a loan out against my portfolio, but I can't do that on Stash. So margin trade, which is really why I'm trying to hold my Bitcoin, bro. That's really why I'm not trying to sell any of my Bitcoin because once them banks let you establish a margin account off your Bitcoin, oh,
It's off on the races.
I'm going crazy. Yeah, I'm going crazy then, bro.
I feel you on that one. Trying to mess with this chart. It ain't working. Okay.
I just, I be looking at Nike too. I just haven't bought in. Like, I just want to know what they gonna do to innovate, man.
Yeah, I don't know either, bro. Honestly, that was like it's not really. I don't have a big stake in Nike, bro. But at the end of the day, I'm like, man, it's just like I almost feel like they too big to fail, bro. That's
Oh
you know what
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, yeah. Thanks.
Same thing Sears said. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, you're not lying. No, you listen. You are not lying, bro. It's facts. So
I don't think people gonna stop buying Jordans and Nikes, bro.
I don't know, man.
Well, even if they, well, here's the thing, bro. I don't.
Yeah,
Once
even it ain't even
again,
Jordans and
man,
Nikes. This is Nike, bro. Like
They
Nike is
keep
just a
they
staple.
just slapping coat of paint on the same shoe.
the thing that's gonna set up the thing that's going once
I'm gonna buy
again.
me a fresh pair of Forces.
It's it's gonna boil down to these companies, even retail companies, bro. It's gonna boil down to these companies that are able to get into the digital market, bro. Like that's going to be the difference, bro. It's
I
gonna
think
be
they're
it's
gonna start accepting. They're gonna start to seeing. Oh yeah, we're gonna start to accept crypto, bro. Like
well,
they
not
gonna
even
have to.
accepting crypto, but they're gonna have to make digital assets and sell digital assets,
The
bro.
NFTs. Nike has
Yes.
some
Oh yeah, Nike
already.
do have like where you can do
Reeboks and
the
Adidas have them.
in the
But we gonna
metaverse you can get man, it's crazy.
well we yeah, so I think we'll just but who even knows what that market's gonna look like? You know what I'm like?
Right.
That's the whole thing. Nike might be a popular shoe. Nike might be a popular shoe in real life, but I don't know if y'all seen any of them movies in the future. But they don't be wearing no regular shoes, bro. And I don't know if y'all be seeing characters that people be making in the metaverses, but they
Yeah,
do
they
not
be
be
wearing
wearing.
Nikes,
Okay, it depends on what
Jordans, all
platform,
kind of
bro.
shit.
If platforms have the option to, so you just got to think about it like this, bro. Like the market's just going to be so different. Where like now, even now, we could like go on Amazon and we have so many options now, bro. That's just going to grow 10 times the number of options that you have access to and all the different shoes and stuff you could buy. So I don't know. I think you're right, but who knows, bro? Who knows? Because at that point, when you don't have the cost of materials and blah blah blah, who's to say that somebody doesn't
True.
make a who's to say that somebody just doesn't make a cooler shoe than Nike? Because Nike doesn't have a real market advantage anymore, bro. Like they might have
Yeah.
used to have. So it's just gonna be a very interesting time. And we're gonna kind of see it's gonna be interesting to see how those kind of companies try to leverage their way into having value because they're gonna have to find a way because they're not just gonna get it because anybody can make a digital asset.
True.
So they're gonna have to figure out a way to either strike sponsorships or strike like exclusive deals or have their shoes be sponsored or advertisements. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they try to do to take their market share from the physical world and convert that over to the digital world. Um, but who knows, bro? We're just gonna have to see.
They're gonna bring back Saucony's even harder.
You said
I
they can
got a
bring back.
pair of Saucony's in the closet right now. No cap.
I'm telling you.
No,
I
no,
think
no.
we're gonna go to a lot of vintage and retro stuff to kind of get
Man,
the
hold on,
market
man.
back.
Let me see something. Cause like the last pair of shoes I bought, bro. Honestly, the last pair of like sneakers I bought was New Balance.
I have a love-hate relationship with New Balance.
New Balance used to not. I don't know, man.
They used to not hit, bro.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't like they used to have them fat ass New Balance and nobody wanted to wear. Now they
Nah,
coming out with a whole
honestly,
bunch of different
honestly,
designs.
bro, nothing really changed. I don't think to me, nothing really changed with they design of their shoes, bro. Nothing really
They
changed except the type of shoes people started wearing changed. And then all of a sudden people just started paying attention to New Balance.
Want to give me a flying car? That's all I'm worried about.
bro, I ain't gonna lie, I want one, but I don't know, bro. It's just
I don't need that
how
in
they
my
gonna
I don't need
control
that
it.
in my life,
Who's
bro.
who? No, where's the insurance company behind this?
I
I
don't
must
know
know.
yet. They ain't came out with it yet.
I need to be a part of that insurance company.
Now that the insurance market is going to be in a chokehold once that gets on the blockchain, because that's going to cut out a lot of middlemen.
Man, it's
Like
already, bro. Like
with smart
they
contracts.
already running your credit through AI insurance, all this stuff.
Right.
It's crazy. Like you did get approved. Y'all didn't even. Yeah, we ran an attempt. It took 0.001 seconds for us to know.
Right.
Crazy, bro.
But I think that's why also too with Tesla's, those self-driving cars is really gonna slowly start becoming a thing. I know in was it Japan or China? No, Japan is already light years ahead of everybody, basically with their stuff. Like I gotta get my passport so I can go over there. I'm just scared of tsunamis. So, other than that, I think once we reach to that status when it comes to AI and autonomous driving, I don't think insurance is going to be a thing that we have to worry about as far as us driving. Maybe you have to have insurance on your car in case something happens to you, in case something malfunctions. But for the
How
most
long you
part,
think it's gonna be before people like, not totally, but like a large percentage of people really like say, "Oh, I'm gonna get in the car. It ain't no driver." I mean, when
2050,
you get 2050,
It's gonna
2050,
it's
man.
gonna be before that, bro.
I'm optimistic, but this is the only thing I'm pessimistic in because people still want to drive.
Nah, you guys know about Waymo already, right?
Oh, true. Yeah. I
mm-hmm.
used to
I
see
mean,
them when I was in Arizona.
yeah, bro. I mean, people are using like, I mean, it's already a thing. Like it's that's so like I. It's tough for me to say, bro, but the way the way Elon be working, dog. Shit, get that man 15. I'm gonna say get that man 15 years, bro. If he, all I know is if he actually rolls out what he said he's gonna roll out, and that's the thing with him is typically a lot of times he say he's gonna roll out something, but he rolls out something else.
What
So
you
like,
think about them putting the Tesla pots in people's houses?
put, they buy people are buying them. I mean,
That's crazy, bro.
I got three of them in my closet back here.
Yeah,
You know,
please
I
send
got
me
one for
one.
my
Box
piano
it
over
up.
there.
Nah, for real, bro.
You know,
I
Kim
don't, I don't,
Kardashian got hers
I
already
don't
out.
know, man. Like, I just don't want it to be on no out of control shit. Like, cause
Oh
like
man, we
at
ain't
some
seen that
point,
iRobot,
we're nowhere close to that.
right?
We're nowhere
nah, I
close to
don't think we're close to that. But collateral damage. Your ass. Now they have a cut. Now, okay, well, we're gonna put so many in each city on the streets and shit. You know, disasters happen. I don't know.
Nah, we're nowhere near. We're nowhere. We're not.
Yeah,
I hear you, but even the. I mean, number one, the capabilities. Even the robots that are at now, bro. Like the capabilities of the robots aren't really that good. Some of them can move and bump and blah blah blah. But in terms of like an autonomous robot that can fluidity move and think on its own, bro, and then have like the bat, it's we're like pretty far away from like some iRobot stuff. Like, I mean, we're farther away from iRobot robots and having like a full army of those than we are from self-driving cars. Because the technology in a
No, not
self-driving car is
necessarily all autonomous, or what is the other word I'm looking for? What it, like you said, where they control themselves. I think it's more on a level of
with their
them
sentiment,
being controlled. Yeah, sentient.
sentient.
I feel like it's more on a level of them being controlled and programmed. Because just
well,
like drones and all those different things, they can
well,
be controlled.
even them being controlled. Them, if you're gonna control and program a robot, you can't. How are you gonna control more than one at the same time?
Quantum computers.
Skynet.
Entanglement, quantum entanglement.
No, I mean, I hear you. I think, I mean, you could be right, but once again, like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
far off though.
it is like you could be right, but like it just, yeah. I mean, we're pretty the cloud. They would all have to be connected to the same cloud server. Somebody would have to hack that cloud server, and then the computer would have to have access to like visuals for every single
It's
one of
like
those
Eagle
robots at the
Eye.
same time, bro. Which we're, I mean, yeah, AI is up there, but I just don't think, we're still pretty far away. I think
Have you
from
seen the movie Eagle Eye?
I, not recently. I've seen that movie though.
Yeah, I think they have a supercomputer like that somewhere stored off somewhere, and they're working the kinks out of it. But I think something's gonna have to really happen for where we just like say the hell with it and just let it run whatever simulation or whatever for everyday life is going to be to get to that point.
I think they
But
might do cities like that. I mean, they might
oh, the
do like
smart
those smart
cities,
cities. Hell yeah, that's
yeah,
definitely gonna be a thing though.
yeah, 15-minute cities, yeah, that could be a thing. That will be a thing. Not could, it will be a thing.
That really like a new way to say, hey, here's your ghetto, but we're gonna be controlling every whim
Yeah,
of it with just CBDC and cameras and robots and doors you only can get through if you scan. Your retina.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how it
Crazy.
is. That's how it is in China already, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they under the what is this shit called? Man, China, they really doing some heavy surveillance in China, bro. That shit is on another level.
Well, it's not the surveillance; it's their social, basically their social.
Social
Oh,
credit
so
score, yeah.
Well, not even. Well, it's more than just credit. I think. I think it's just like. I think it's kind of. I think it might be past credit, if I'm right, or no? Is it just credit?
let me see.
Well, not necessarily credit. It's like a social. I would call it like a social life score. So that's just call it your social credit score. They
Well,
monitoring
well, yeah. Look it
so
up
many different things
because I
about
actually
you.
he's about to look it up because honestly, I actually don't know what all it encompasses. To be, I've looked it up before, but I don't remember right now.
Yeah, China's social credit system, SCS, national program that uses credit rating and blacklist to evaluate the trustworthiness of individuals, business, and government institutions. It's the system goal is to regulate social behavior and ensure compliance with laws and regulations.
Social behavior. So it's not just financial.
Yeah,
I
It
mean,
is
you
not.
go and do some crazy shit. Your
That's
name gonna be plastered on
that
the
mean it's not
digital
only that,
log.
but that means what you were just saying. That means if your score isn't high, it may not be there right now, but that could easily be. If your score isn't high enough, you can't enter some places, bro. That
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
that's the
very.
same.
because
That's
they
the
have
same
the
thing they're trying to
score
do.
on here. You got priority for school admissions and employment, easier access to cash loans, consumer credit, deposit free bicycle and car hire, free gym
Damn, can't even
facilities,
get around.
cheaper public transportation, shorter wait times in hospitals, fast track promotions at work, jump in the queue for public housing, tax breaks, and then some of the punishments, denial of licenses and permits to access to social services, exclusion from booking flights or high speed train tickets,
Damn.
less access to credit,
Holy shit.
Can't even
restrict
leave the
access
country,
to public
my boy.
services, ineligibility for government jobs, no access to private schools, and then public shaming. So it's like
Yeah,
that Black Mirror episode.
hey,
Right.
look, bro. They said. Listen, they said if y'all want to be a nobody,
Bro, that shit is crazy, bro.
about to make y'all some real outsiders,
Man,
dog.
I wouldn't be surprised if the United States adopted something
They
along
already
those
doing that
lines.
undercover, bro.
No, here's the thing. Here's the one thing why that won't work. It won't work to that capacity in the US because that is not our culture. So whether or not, so here's the big difference. The biggest difference is China's culture, whether they have that system or not. That's just kind of how their culture is, right? Like when you go overseas, like
Dictatorship.
in those not dictatorships, but like the way they are as people, like they don't litter in China. Like they
Yeah,
don't do that. Like it's the way they act and they like pick up, it's like pick up your own garbage and everybody does that. Like it's
yeah.
shameful to do that there. And if you do that there, people will fucking like like look
Beat
at you,
your ass
bro.
with
Yes.
sticks.
Like it's just not a
Not the
thing. Like
bamboo sticks.
there's like honor. When
Yeah,
people are honorable, people expect each other to act honorably there.
right,
And that's
right.
just not how our society is, bro.
That's
Like we
true.
just it's just a very, very different society, right? Like it's so I think in China, everybody has that understanding of like whether the score was there or not, nothing should change for most of them. But like in the US, bro, people would 100%, that would make a civil. I promise you, bro,
Yeah,
that would be a civil war. No lie. That would be a civil war, bro. Like
I just
I
feel like
hope it
it's
doesn't come
been
here,
done.
bro.
It's already being done under our nose, bro. Like we so a free country. We so like I think a lot of people are so that in their minds to the point they feel like, yeah, let's just put it on a massive scale. They wouldn't do anything like that, but they showed you different so many times.
I don't know, bro. We're definitely a free country, brother.
We
I'll tell
free.
you that. We're definitely a free country, bro.
Man, bro,
Yeah,
we got a blacklist. So we got a blacklist too, bro. Man. I'm gonna just put it like
listen,
this:
man.
you get to saying certain stuff on the internet, bro.
We're definitely we can access whatever we want on the internet,
Hold
bro.
on,
We're a free
out of
country.
there. Let me do
You
my
go,
thing the
bro.
right
You
way.
go in China, you can't
Out
even
of there.
no. Listen, bro. Just because you get blocked doesn't mean we're not a free country. You can't even get access to the stuff we can get access to in a lot of countries, bro. Like a lot of countries do not
Well,
have free internet use, bro.
right now. So it's kind of like we was talking about the CBDCs and was talking about how it's really just upgraded welfare. At some point, you will be. Because
yeah,
CBDC gonna tell you, hey, you can't buy this, or don't go on the internet talking about that, or like
but we're probably gonna always be the freest. Like that's the whole thing. It's not like just free in general, but like you have to like look at it in terms of like what are other countries doing too. Like you can't make your basis of freedom off of what it used to be. You have to make your basis of freedom off of what the world currently is, and that has to evolve and change. So what is considered free in the new modern world cannot be made off what is considered free nowadays. Because if you try to say, like, is Stephen Curry the best player if you put him in the NBA 60 years ago, it's not a fair comparison. So, like, you can't compare our freedom now to like future freedom. It can't remain the same because culture change, time changes, everything changes. And with that, freedom has to change too, bro. Like it just won't work. I mean, because like, bro, real talk, if think about it, if we remain fully free, degenerates will come here from other countries. This will it will turn it. No, not like what I'm talking about. Not like straight degenerates. Like we still have people that come to the US with great aspirations of becoming something big here because of they can do that here and they can't do that elsewhere. But like if we don't adopt anything else that other countries are doing, bro, and people are getting like banned, blacklisted, blah blah blah, and the US doesn't have any of those things in place, if we don't have like a social score to them, guess what? All those bozos and bums that are in like the lowest tier, where they gonna go? They're gonna go here. And if we don't got those restrictions, we just gonna let them in.
For real though, nah, yeah. It do have to be some kind of restrictions. You can't just let people flood in here and do whatever they want to do.
But real talk, just between on it, yo. So here's really what's crazy, bro. As I'm like watching stuff, so I definitely don't like. I'm definitely not like pro Trump, right? Like that's just not how I line. But like as I'm seeing the shit he's doing now, bro, I'm like, damn. If Trump didn't win, would I be making the money I'm making now? And it's fucking up my head, bro. It's really fucking with my head, bro, because I don't want to fuck with Trump. But at the same time, I'm like, damn,
you're making money.
I'm like, this man got Gary Gensler out of there, bro.
I don't fuck with Trump as a person, but I fuck with his ideas about money.
Yeah, hey,
he's a businessman.
He's making me. Trump is actively benefiting my life, bro. And I hate it so much, bro.
Nah, look, Trump ain't benefiting your life. You benefiting your life because you taking advantage of the opportunities that sit before you.
But if Trump, that's true. I'm the originator. Yes, I'm the originator, but he is a catalyst.
You think he pushing the waves?
He is the catalyst, and he has changed the trajectory, bro. Because it's de facto that he is crypto friendly. We all know that, bro.
Man, Trump made niggas get up off their ass, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
and all I know is, bro, that the current way the Democratic Party is structured, bro, they are not crypto friendly, bro. Just fact, they aren't crypto friendly right now.
At all.
January 20th.
It sucks that shit like that has to. And this is my biggest issue with politics is, bro, is like shit like that shouldn't be a political stance. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that should not be a Republican or Democrat thing. That should be both fucking parties because it just makes sense. Because what are we talking about right now, bro? So anyways, like that's the thing of it's like, the things that are making people align being Democrat or Republican now are just issues that shouldn't be fucking issues. Like having an issue of like women's body rights. Like, why the fuck is that even a political issue, bro? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't even be a Republican or Democrat thing. That should just be both of you parties have to fucking do this because we're not Neanderthals anymore, bro. Like, what are we? So, anyways, man, it's just the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
US mess.
It's crazy, bro. Because I don't even typically be talking about that shit with people because they
follow the money, man.
Man, right.
Follow the money.
It's a slippery slope.
Real slippery, dog. People get to making assumptions about you real quick, man.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, this year's politics and all this presidential election shit, it didn't put people into like a mindset of like craziness. Like people going crazy over this shit, bro. Like I be sitting back looking at this shit. I'm like, man, y'all don't follow the money, man, because this really, this really what it's about.
But it's a reason why they stopped teaching us how the branches and stuff of government works for this sole purpose here. They stopped teaching that for a reason, man. Because now these kids are in school, man. They don't even come home with homework no more. They just be loud and wrong when they come home. I'm like, what? Like, so
TikTok babies, man.
bruh, it's crazy. Like, did y'all see the video of the little boy who was in class arguing with these girls because he was like, we're not voting, we didn't want Trump in because he's going to take away the rights to abortion. He's like, you're not even having sex. It doesn't apply to you. Like, when you're old enough to be doing all this stuff, bro, trust me, this man ain't gonna be running for office. Like, you're up and on
really,
about something
really
that doesn't
the
apply to
algorithm,
you.
bro. The algorithm got everybody in a chokehold,
Man.
Like, it's really like that's why, like, bro, in this day and age, as you could be in, like, okay, maybe I ain't trying to boast and brag and boost us up, but if you could be in circles like this, bro, you just count yourself blessed because, like, you a person that's like understand the algorithm and know how to move through it. Like, because people just getting caught up with it. It's madness, man.
Yeah, honestly, man, if I wasn't if I wasn't doing the stuff that, like, I'm trying to do in terms of, like, build a digital platform and blah blah blah, I probably would go back to what I was doing last year. And that was when I, like, kind of got off social media platforms pretty heavily. Like, I mean, I cut down the number of people I follow on Instagram very, very low. Like, I mean, it's realistically only, like, my blood relatives, a few other people, and business stuff. Like, just because and even then, and the crazy thing is, even then, bro, you can't escape the algorithm. You used to be able to escape the algorithm by doing that, but you can't do that anymore. Now they just will add BS into suggested thing. It's impossible just to see what you want to see now. No matter. So, anyways, yeah, I think that I think that parents need to. I think that basically the same way our parents struggled with us getting on the internet and, like, having oversight onto what we were doing on the internet, a lot of parents are struggling with the same thing, but it's just amplified by 20 now, where we got on the internet and you just go on Google, and we could sometimes stumble onto BS on the internet, but it was a lot harder. Right, like, you had to kind of try before,
right, and we was able to have a good discernment too, to go through and, like, yeah, this is some BS. And now these kids, they put up stuff and they just so quick to believe it, man. Like, my kids now, when they come home, on TikTok, and I'm like, bro, you're loud and wrong. Like, that ain't what that is.
When TikTok first came out, they've made 7-second videos, bro. So, like, every video was 7 seconds. This is the attention span. They can't focus. And then let's say if somebody is giving them some valid information, well, by the time they didn't got the information, they on to the next video, and then the information they got is chopped. It's not even like the full course meal. It's like a piece of candy, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like them videos. I was talking with my girl about this the other day. It's kind of like the videos and the cartoons you used to see. They used to have their eyes open like this, and they show 1,000
images.
Yeah, like, it's like that, bro.
So what I think the biggest issue overall with where we're at with these platforms and these algorithms is that for a developing brain, the way that these algorithms shape what you see, it's restricting the growth of your brain. And what I mean by that is, when you get on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok now, you only see you only see the ideas and beliefs that you have now, for the most part. They do not show you things outside of your purview. So what I mean by that is, my feed on my Instagram looks very different than a white person who's making $5 million a year and lived a different life than me. Our feeds will not be the same. And now the issue with that and a kid whose brain is still developing is you quickly fall into this rabbit hole of, oh, what I'm thinking is right. Everything I'm thinking and my ideas and my thoughts are right, because every time you get on Instagram, it's just reaffirming what you think. There's so much reaffirmations in the way kids think on these platforms, where when we were growing up and when we were using Facebook and everything, you would see everybody's thoughts, everybody's ideas.
We was providing the data.
Well,
now the data is being
used
restructured,
to
if
used
you
to
will. Yeah,
so like the issue is, bro, is like if your brain is still developing and the information and you are being fed information based on who you are currently, it takes away some of the freedom to grow. It takes away that luxury of learning because you're always just
reactivity.
stuck getting the same information over and over and over. So now for kids to grow and be unique and be different, it's so much fucking harder than it's ever been, right? Like it's so much harder to be a unique individual now and to have your own life experiences and to grow and change than it's ever been, bro. So like I think parents, once they start understanding those algorithms, I think we're gonna see a big like the next generation of kids. Like I know my kids, bro, like my kids probably won't have social media until they're teenagers, bro. Like that's gonna be a legitimate, and they may hate me for that, but like you can't, bro. Like while you just can't, bro. Like
Oh,
you can't have like little kids running around on these platforms, bro. Like it
social media
just
gave our generation ADHD, bro. Like real talk. It's crazy.
so yeah, man. It's a real crazy time, man. It just, it's just real scary. But I mean, at the end of the day, man, we'll see how things happen. It just, you know, we're just coming to a
Yeah,
point now where it's just, the government has so much control. You just really have to kind of be tapped in so much more with your kids than you ever have to use to be, man. You just really, really do.
Yeah.
I think it's more not even not letting them have social media, but I don't. Since I ain't no parent, but I would say not necessarily so much major oversight, but oversight in the way to, hey, this is what this is. This how you need to be using it.
But you can't beat the algorithm. But that's the thing, bro. Bro, from my personal experience using Instagram, bro, it doesn't matter what I do on my Instagram.
It always suggests you things.
Bro, I follow 60 people on my Instagram, bro. That's it. Only 60. That's it. And my post on my feed is maybe one post from the people I follow, and then 6 posts of things that they suggest, bro, of profiles I don't follow. So it used to be your Instagram feed would just be people you follow.
Yeah.
That's not how that works anymore, bro. They fill your feed with stuff. So it just doesn't, it just it like I hear what you're saying, but like I think there just has, because like there should be laws in place to where like Instagram is having to make Instagram for kids or for teens. Like they're creating a separate app for teens. Like that should be for every social media
And
platform.
see, they probably gonna end up. Well, what I think what needs to happen is blockchain social media sites. That way, the smart contracts can control X, Y, and Z. But then that starts with community. It just depend on like who are you connected with. Like what
Yeah.
are they
That's definitely going to be the next narrative community.
That's what Blue Sky is.
Yeah.
That's
I just downloaded it the other day.
I don't have it, but that's a decentralized social media platform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it really have to be for you. And we talking about children in order for you to like, I guess, say protect them is
But
guide
this
them.
is the thing.
Oh,
As somebody with kids, man, like I tell my kids all the time, like, hey, be mindful of what you watch, be mindful of what you say. Like, come talk to me, because you can try to protect them from everything. And if they don't see it at home or don't get it at home, when they go off to school, they're going to get exposure to it. So you can't really limit what they're being exposed to outside of the house. So it's like, well, let me put you on game
yeah,
on
exactly. Yeah,
XYZ, because yeah, like you were saying, Brandon, hey, you ain't gonna have social media while you're here, but you not finna be in that classroom with them. You're not finna go to the mall with them all the time. So
no.
all it takes is one time for them friend to be like, hey, did you see this video here? And they sneak off and do it. So it's kind of finding a balance within that, and the way that they have everything set up. You can't save them from certain stuff. You can put in parental blocks and guides and stuff like that, but your best bet is to put them on game. That way you teach them so the streets won't. Because nowadays these kids got access to any and everything, whether you know it or
I
not.
think that's kind of like the sentiment of my brand. So like It says liberation in the palm of your hands. It's like you can either use the technology to bind yourself, or you can use it to liberate yourself.
Yeah.
So so here's the thing. I'm 50-50 on it because, like I said, at the end of the day, when we use the internet, we weren't the product. Now, no matter what you teach or train your kids, the second they make a social media platform, they're a product, and their data is being collected, and they're literally figuring out how to capture their attention. Just period, point blank. I do not think that social media is in any sense conducive to growth in the form and shape it is now. Period, point blank. I do think that what you're saying is right. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong, because that is very right. Because like that's like the way my mom raised me was like kind of how I'm talking. She was very sheltered, protective, and blah blah blah. And that's not how I want to raise my kids. I want to raise my kids to know that they have freedom and they have choice. But the whole thing is, bro, is just that these algorithms and these companies just have no oversight right now. Just period, point blank. There's no oversight into the information there's no laws, like there's no real actual laws on the information they're collecting on us, bro. And that's a problem. Like, and when you're putting your kids into that, like, it's impossible to know what they're doing. Like, and it just is tough, man. Like, I mean, it's tough because I think that I personally think that the next generation of kids, the people that are going to be like the ones able to move through the world a little bit differently, are going to be the ones who didn't have phones attached to them. Because like those are going to be the kids that like are probably going to be really good at like interacting. I think who knows, and that could be wrong because maybe everything just may go, because when everything goes digital, then maybe they'll just be behind the ball. So it's tough.
I don't think there's no stopping it, bro. There's no, like you said, the algorithm is probably no stopping it.
But so I'll just give you my experience, because my experience was like my mom definitely sheltered and protected me, and when I did get out into the world, bro, like definitely I took some tough lessons, bro. I took some real fucking tough lessons when I went to college. But at the end of the day, just the type of person you are, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's not going to really make it. It's going to make a difference, but it's not going to make a difference. Right? Because like the type of person I was always just a clever motherfucker. Like even though I wasn't really like street smart, I was always able to talk to whoever and just end up being friends with whoever the fuck I wanted to end up being friends with. So like I wasn't good at sports. I wasn't good at really anything in school. I didn't get good grades. I was kind of funny, not the funniest. I wasn't really tall. I had a little bit of a belly, but my mouthpiece worked like a motherfucker, bro. That's all I know, bro. So like, you know what I'm saying?
That's a talent within itself. So
for sure. And it wasn't from my mom, because my mom's super sheltered. Like, bro, the first time I saw my mom drink anything, it was like after me and her went out to like dinner. And this is like me after like 3 or 4 times just trying to like, I was like, hey, mom, I'm going to buy you a margarita. Hey, mom, I'm going to buy you a margarita. Hey, mom, I'm going to buy you a margarita. And one time she finally was like, okay. And that's the one time I ever seen her drink, bro, in my whole life. Ain't never seen her drink.
Did she hold her liquor?
No. No shot, bro. She thinks like when me and my brother went to a Atlanta Hawks game 2 Christmases ago. And basically she was like, this is legitimate. She's like, if you have a beer, just make sure you don't drive. I'm like, Mom, I can have 1 beer and drive. Well, just be careful. I'm like, me and my brother just look at each other and laugh because it's like, that's to her, like she has 1 drink and like she's good, bro. Like she's not.
My mom's the same way.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, and the whole thing is, even though she's super traditional, like, so like, okay, I didn't have a TV in my room until maybe my senior year in high school. In my own room, like we had a TV in the house, but just in my own room, she wouldn't let me get one. Like
ain't no HBO for you.
when I couldn't get one because I was working, she just would not let me get one, bro. I didn't get my first car until I went off to college, and not my sophomore year in college. Didn't get my first car. I had a flip phone until my sophomore year in high school. just so like I could call my mom in case of emergencies, bro. So like I was behind the 8 ball on a lot of stuff, bro. But the whole thing is, I think because of that, typically people that are more traditional like that, they really do a better job of instilling stronger morals and standards, I think. Also at the same time, because I wasn't raised. So, anyways, man, I don't want to go down this whole rabbit hole or anything, but
we'll save it for the next episode.
Yeah. So, like, I watched I watched the social media documentary, and that's what a lot of people that like Jack Dorsey and a lot of people that were involved in this first iteration of social media, that's what they do with their kids. They do not let their kid. A lot of them are like, yeah, a lot of those. You saw the documentary, but a lot of those people that were on there, they're saying the same thing. They do not let their kids use social media until they're teenagers, and these are the motherfuckers that made that shit, bro.
So they already know. They were told to make this shit a certain way to be addictive.
So when I saw that documentary, bro, I was like, oh yeah, y'all done showed me enough, bro. Y'all done showed me enough. I know when I have my kids, bro. Like that's something that I'm like that I do have a strong stance on, and maybe that changes because sometimes you got to change with times. But if I'm like, yo, if these people who made and like it was like Twitter, Instagram, these people who made these things like don't allow their kids to have these platforms, I'm like, I would be stupid for me to think like I'm gonna do a better job. And these are the people who made them, bro. Like they know stuff that I don't know. And if they're saying that, bro, on a documentary, they trying to tell you something, bro. They are trying to tell you something, bro. So I don't know. But you know,
on social media till you're 18. I don't want to hear it.
Nah, 18's crazy. 18's nasty work, bro. I think you have to start having the conversation with them once they get into like, obviously like once they get into high school, it's kind of like not really a choice, right? Like once they hit high school, they have to have it. But I think it's a conversation you have with them in middle school. But in high school, there's no choice. Like, otherwise, they would just be too fucking weird. Like they would be the weird ass kid.
Yeah, they're gonna download it while they at school, and then when they come back home, they just gonna take it off.
How they gonna download it? They got a smartphone, bro.
The fuck? They ain't got it.
Shit. You gotta have a phone.
They're gonna have a phone. They gonna give a flip phone.
But I put it on that Chromebook.
Razors. But old school razors.
I wouldn't send my kid to high school to get, and probably even for that matter, middle school. I don't think, because that's when how old are you when you start middle school? 13?
They changed it now. So middle school is considered 6th grade now. So around 12.
So teenager. So basically that's when, so that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, that's when I would start to have that conversation about like getting my kids social media when they go to middle school. Because realistically, bro, like you don't really start getting seriously picked on until you get to middle school, right? Like that's really when shit gets real for kids. Like up until middle school, it don't really matter who the fuck you were, because you gonna grow, you gonna change. But once you hit middle school, that identity really starts to, you can't have no weird. You cannot have your kid labeled weird going into middle school, bro. Because that's when shit. That's when
you
shit
gotta go up to the school and go fight somebody because they want to pick on your kid.
That's when shit get heavy. But elementary school, you can let shit slide, bro. So that's why like teenager is where I would kind of start to have that conversation just for me, because elementary school shit is just elementary school, but middle school and high school, like if you do, you can seriously kind of put your kid in a really shitty situation. If you don't make sure they at least, got kind of the same basis of shit as other kids. So that's just how many kids you got, bro?
You really want to know?
I didn't even know you had kids, bro.
Yeah, man. So overall, I have 5. I have 2 daughters. Well, I have 4 daughters. 2 of them are mine. 2 are from my wife. From a previous relationship, and a son, which is her son, which is our son, but 5 kids total. But 4 girls and a boy. Man. Yeah, my philosophy, because I knew I was gonna have kids at an early age. My dad kind of, I wasn't sheltered with my dad, but with my mom I was. But knowing how my dad moved around, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have him end up having a bunch of kids. So he kind of prepared me for fatherhood at an early age or whatnot, and just kind of put me on game and let me know, hey son, if you partake in certain activities, that's what can happen to you. And if that happens, you got to make sure you take care of your responsibilities no matter what. So I'm grateful for that. But like I said, I wanted to have kids now, get it out the way, because I don't want to be one of those people. And no offense to people who have kids later on in life. I just don't want to be 40, 50, 60 with kids. Like,
Yeah, shit's about to be tough, bro. Ain't
yeah.
gonna even hold you, bro. I'm trying to get this shit figured out now, bro.
Hold on.
So I was like, let me
What's
get
my
this
age
out the
plus
way.
18? Damn.
Yeah, let me get this out the way
Yeah,
now, where I can still move, I can still run after you.
Hey, it's
Cause
all right, man. Cause you crypto Charles, bro. We gonna be on the yacht. You gonna have all the kids in their
I'm
section,
trying to tell
and
you,
have all the grown people in their section, and it is what it is.
Man. Cause once I hit 40, man, I
Look,
don't want to deal with nothing or nobody
look,
unless I want
wine, weed, and wings, man. Wine,
to.
weed, and wings on the yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 50 for me, man. I think that's gonna be my. Well, actually, I don't know, man. I think really, actually, I every time I try to think about ages when I like don't want to work or whatever, I always just kind of default back to like, man, I just need to make sure I just need to make sure that I'm making money from something that I love doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That way I could just keep, because you can't really like stop working. People always, I want to retire when I'm
Ain't no
50.
retirement,
But
bro.
bro,
At
Hey,
all.
you
y'all
have so
better
much
learn this if
vitality
you
then.
don't know one thing. Ain't no retirement. Stop believing that.
Yep.
Well, I mean, now don't get me wrong, bro. You
It is, but it
can
ain't.
It is, but it ain't.
there are
These
yeah,
crises that
for
can
sure.
come and take a chunk of your money. Now you got to restructure how you got it coming in if you
That's
get too
true.
relaxed.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, though, if you do have enough assets, like if you do have enough assets, bro,
Yeah.
you cannot work. The whole thing is what's your lifestyle? What lifestyle do you want to subscribe to? Right? Like
That part.
Right.
Yeah.
that's really what determines if you can retire or not. Right? So most people who retire are just living a very mediocre lifestyle. Like that's kind of the issue. But so yeah, man, I just that's the main thing. Yeah, hopefully I could just find something, make money from something I love doing. That way it don't really even feel like
Like
work.
work. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that should be a good topic for the next episode, man. Because a lot of people don't think past that. Like, I think what we're going into is going to be based off of doing what you love, so it
Me too.
doesn't feel like work. Because
Me
we're
too.
like, retirement ain't no thing. You know what I'm saying? That Social Security check is not coming. They're cutting that every year. They're cutting that. So I
just think.
think.
Sorry, nah, my bad. Go ahead. My
Oh
bad.
no, I was just saying, as we get older, I think when we look at age or whatever, like you said about 50, I think 50 is going to be the new 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, and as time progresses and as advancements come along, I think more people are going to be doing more able-bodied stuff when they're in their 80s and 90s, for real, for real.
For sure. Yeah, and I just think hopefully, man, when you really look at especially our group, man, our ethnic group, man, like our generation is like the first generation that came off of like really the first generation that had the potential to even be educated for black
Yeah.
people. With just depending on like age. So like well, for my family, my grandmother, she's 99 right now. So like from her and my mom's her youngest kid, but from her to my mom to me, it's a very fucking different, you know what I'm saying? A
Right.
lot of shit has changed in terms of how black people are viewed and what they have access to. So when for my grandma I don't even know if my grandma finished middle school.
Yeah.
To my mom has her master's, bro, and thinking about pursuing her PhD. That's an insane gap up. Like
Yeah.
that's crazy. So for my family, I'm the first black person. And all my cousins are the first black people that was raised by black people with the education. Period, point blank. Whether my mom even went into high school, even if my mom stopped at high school, it would have still been more educated than her generation. And that's the situation for, I think, a lot of Black families, maybe just one or two generations longer than mine,
Yeah.
because my grandma's so old, and some people, like sometimes you might have to go a couple generations back. So with that being said, like it takes like coming from an educated person, I think, to be able to have the openness to think, like, let me try to have my kid do something that they love doing, right? Like
Yeah.
to do a job that you love doing and not just chase money. Because for my mom, education was what she chased, because her mom didn't have access to that. So that was like the newest, hottest thing that she could do, was to be highly educated. But for
Right.
me, the new thing now is like education is trash now. Like, cool, get a master's. A lot of my friends that got college degrees ain't really doing nothing with it, bro. Like, so the whole thing now, and even with that, bro, the whole thing now is like, it's better to find something you love than to count on the system, because the system just ain't what it used to be, bro.
That is true.
So, like, you know what I'm
Down
saying?
with the system, up with Bitcoin. Let's go, man.
Yeah, fact.
It is what it is.
So yeah, man,
Right.
I think it's gonna be, I think it's just interesting, man. Like if I had kids now, man, I would definitely be like trying to see, like, if one of my kids was like, oh, I want to be a streamer, bro, I fucking go out and buy them some streaming shit ASAP, and I get them on that
Bro,
get them on that shit. Listen,
that's what I
boy.
was telling one of my best friends. She said that her son, they had some class project. It was like, where you want to be from 10 years? He's like, I want to be a streamer. And she was like, really? And I was like, hey, they make a lot of bread.
Set that little motherfucker up, boy.
Up
Shit, stop
ASAP.
playing. Cause like the whole thing is, right, realistically, we were all kids, bro. So you know how quick we go from one thing to another, but you gotta treat everything like it's legit, bro. Cause you
Yeah.
never know what that one thing is that they're gonna fall in love with. And if you don't,
Facts.
you feel me? So you just gotta treat every idea they have like this is the one for them, and really invest in that shit. Because if you do that, if you find the one thing that they love doing and you invested in that shit, bro, and they fall in love with that, bro, they're set for life.
It's
They don't
kind of
gotta
like, bro,
worry about
they
working.
got more options than we did. It's like now we got options at our age, but thinking back to like back then, maybe this is like elementary, middle school, you couldn't like stream, like that wasn't like, it really wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? It was just, we were just on the cusp on of the internet.
Right.
But
Now
honestly,
it's so many, it's way many avenues.
it's I think honestly, bro, I think it's better that way. I think
Yeah, for
if
sure.
I think they should. I mean, it's better the way we had it. I think like kids
We
have.
had, you think, more of a balance.
I think that we just got to enjoy being kids a little bit more than our kids will get to enjoy being kids. Because our kids see kids on fucking YouTube doing all this shit, and at a younger age, I feel like they're not wanting to kind of do things that are like, you know.
Like
Anyways,
fly kites.
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
get
Just not really do as much. They want to, then maybe it's just changed, but it's, I don't know, man. It just, we just kind of had a more organic. There we go. We had a more like human connection and more organic and more person to person, and kids just don't really get that anymore, bro.